Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Waves. This is Ben, our jean vest loving, fearless captain. One day he convinced me to go along with him on the adventure of buying and moving onto a sailboat, Kiana. And since then, we've had no regrets. I'm Alie, by the way, first mate and fishing enthusiast. And together, we've been exploring the Pacific Northwest, and one day we hope to take her home and our surfboards even further. Oh, this is Bruce, our sandy boat dog. Thanks for coming along with us, and special thanks to our patrons for keeping us going. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell. Oh my god. I can't believe this is a thing right now. Alright, so I was looking at some of the footage that we took on the way down to Victoria from Nanaimo, and I realized that it's all in slow motion, so there is no footage. But anyways, we are here in Canoe Cove, which is close to the ferry terminal at Schwartz Bay on the near Victoria, kind of south point of Vancouver Island here. We scooted down from Nanaimo. It takes about 2 days, and we mostly just motored. There wasn't a whole lot of wind and there was a lot of current, but we caught the current and now we're here. So this is a day 2 of our vacation, our trip of going around the island. We're looking forward to it. This morning already we woke up and we had Brent come and visit the boat from Blackline, and he took a look at our rigging and did a quick rigging inspection. The cool thing was Brent from Blackline said that we are actually super good for coastal cruising. He said obviously there's some things that we want to do that we brought up to him, and he said for sure definitely do that before you go offshore. Really nice peace of mind for our coastal cruising and for going out to the west side of the island where winds are a little bit more unpredictable. So I'll show you some clips of that. And then now we are meeting with Precision Sails. We're getting a new mainsail, so we're gonna measure it up together, go through that whole process, show you guys a little bit what it's like. And yeah, bit by bit, Kiana's getting improved. This has been a big couple months for improving her. So this is where we are.
I am broke.
This is how poor we are. This is where we are. This is what we're doing. Come along.
So we just got these, and this guy feels
that's a
little
big
bit,
engine.
Yeah, it is.
So I'd ditch these and I'd go.
Blackline Marine is one of the main rigging experts in BC. Brent was great. He went over what we need to replace before we go offshore and what is really okay as it is.
Yeah, if you get to that one.
We also got to ask him Ben's and my biggest debate, whether or not we should put our stay sail on a rolling furler or keep it as a hank-on.
So Blackline is in BC, definitely Vancouver Island. They're known to be the go-to rig shop. I did a course with Brent from Blackline a couple of years ago, and I got to tour the facility, and I was pretty much sold at that point that when it was time to re-rig Kiana, that we'd be doing it here. So yeah, I'm glad Brent could have a look at the boat, and he's going to help figure out what can I do over the winter ourselves. Like I'm going to work on the whisker pole, and then give us a budget on what to expect next year when we come back this way and do the rig before we head south. So I'm glad we got that done. It is good peace of mind that nothing, he went up and down the mast, he looked at all the connections, nothing stood out as dangerous. So we get to cruise on confidently for the next year. And know what we're getting into next year.
Guys, look. Kiana's gonna be a guinea pig today for Precision Sails wanted to redo their how-to video. So they were gonna do how to measure your mane on Kiana. Hi.
Hey.
This is the Precision Sails crew here.
Yeah, nobody knows who we are because we're
you're all in disguise at the moment.
The catamaran.
He's a cat man.
Yeah.
So
3 kids, you have no choice.
we're trying to get our old main off the boat now. so we can do the how to measure the mainsail, and then we're gonna put up our new sail from Precision Sails. Woo!
Oh yeah!
Open up a brand new sail here from the team at Precision Sails. Ooh! Look at that.
Woo!
That is clean. What do you think, Alie? Is this too clean for our
It might be. I think we have to roll it around in the dirt before we put it
Can you
up.
get the sail a little dirtier, please, before we put it up? So yeah, we're done. We wrapped up all the measurements. The guys here at Precision Sails did their thing, and now we're on to getting the sail, our new sail up. Just want to say thank you guys. This is super cool. We're super stoked to be working with Precision, and the sail looks beautiful. So it's a pretty exciting day for breaking waves and for Kiana.
Thank you! Woo!
Yeah.
This is a huge moment for us. We've been doing some serious upgrades for Kiana, but this is a good one. We just got a sail from Precision Sails, and it's so beautiful. It's so crunchy and new.
You want the small nylon ones at your intermediate sliders because they slide better. And they'll grind a bit going up and they'll shape to your mast.
Well, you might want to.
Everything's beefed up for what you guys want to do.
Yeah.
3 rows of stitching on all your broad seams, pegs, everything's in.
I mean,
The light sailors do it.
Alright, new sail is on, looks sweet. We got 3 reef points, I didn't even realize that, so pretty stoked about that.
We're heading to
Queen
the
Two
office
Sails.
to
Who's
check
gonna
out
be
how
the-
they designed it. The new sail loft was super cool. There were double monitors in every office with sailboats spinning on them, cool music playing all over, and then whiteboard walls that had equations written on them and sales goals. They told us about how their sails are built offshore in a factory that they own and control the entire process. I think a lot of people imagine their sails are being built by a local sailmaker in a sail loft somewhere in Victoria. But the truth is that almost all the major competitors in this space build them overseas as well. After paying for our sail, they sent us a sail measurement form that we had to fill out. It took us about an hour to get all the measurements. It wasn't that hard. Although part of me was a little bit nervous that if we screwed it up, we'd have a sail that didn't fit, Precision's confirmed that even if I screwed up my own measurements and ended up with a sail that didn't quite fit, they would still replace it.
I think it took me maybe an hour to get these measurements.
Every sail, every Precision sail we want to fit and work as best as possible.
Okay, so we're getting ready to leave Canoe Cove, and we noticed that we were losing some engine oil on the motor down here. And we're expecting to probably have to motor quite a bit more to get up into Barkley Sound. It looks like we're going headwind all the way, which we kind of knew was likely. But anyway, I think it's the lube oil cooler that is leaking. So I just emailed Nick at Stones about what the cost is. I think it's probably gonna be an $800 part. I'll show you this guy here. This is when, after the raw water goes through the heat exchanger, that's the engine saga stuff I did a while back. After it exits there, the raw water comes into this pipe, and then out this way, and then to the exhaust elbow. And that water cools down the lube oil system, which is these 2 connections here. It's super hard to get at on my engine. It's a pain in the butt, which is why I didn't replace it when we did the heat exchanger. But yeah, my theory is that because I'm getting a little bit of oil coming out of our exhaust water, it looks like oil to me, and we're losing oil when we motor. My theory is that that's the part that needs to be replaced. So I'm going to top up the oil. We're going to run it again today. I've already inquired on the part. There's not a lot we can do. We got to carry on. So unfortunately, we're going to be losing oil, but I do want to fix it as soon as possible. So the lube oil cooler is way back here, right in front of the turbo, the air inlet there. So it requires me to probably remove this interface here, that whole elbow turbo zone at the back, which means there's a gasket that attaches to the heat exchanger right here. I got to remove a couple of these oil lines. And it doesn't really, like, saying that out loud, that doesn't sound like that much work. But then when you realize all the new gaskets and everything like that you got to order to reconnect everything after, it's a pretty big project to get at this guy. And yeah, whatever, I just have to do it. But I'm not really looking forward to it.
But what we were looking forward to was getting back on the water and testing out our new mainsail.
The dock from Canoe Cove. We're trying out our new mainsail from Precision Sails. We've got it on, I think, the first reef right now, and the Genoa rolled partway out, and we're into another headwind. We're just going to be in headwind for the next month, I feel like. But we're heading to Victoria, and the sail looks great. They said that we might need some dog bones to help with our reefing, where the tack connects at the mast and the boom, which does seem to be the case because I kind of struggled getting that into place. Be nice if we weren't doing a headwind right now, but that's how she goes. Did we already explain why we're not using the main?
Nope.
Alright, so we're like halfway down to Vic. We had to pull the main down because we had a reef in it, and there's a gate that stops the slides for the sail from falling out. So it lets you put them in and then you put the gate across it and they stay up. And our gate doesn't really work with the new sail. They were sliding out. So with a reef in the main, we weren't able to keep the reef kringle in place because of that. So anyway, long story short, pulled the main down. I'm gonna have to sort something out in Victoria that will allow us to have a proper gate for the mainsail slides. But we just have, like, I don't know, half the jib out right now. We're on a close haul headed sort of towards Victoria.
How fast are you going?
We're doing about 5.5 knots. And hoping we can just do a tack and get a good long, maybe like 5 miles worth of sailing out of that tack, and then we'll probably roll everything in and motor into downtown Victoria for the night. Show you guys what's going on with our mainsail gate. So this is what used to be, that was all that was needed before to hold our slides in place along the track. Pretty chintzy, really. It looks like there should be something installed in both of these holes to act as a proper, like, metal gate. I'm gonna have to fab something like that up, like a metal gate, when we get back to the dock in Victoria. But for now I'm just looking for anything temporary that's going to let us drop the main and keep the slides in the track. So pretty Mickey Mouse, but it might work. Ooh, we're pumping.
We ended up using a zip tie to keep the slugs inside the track. And although it wasn't ideal, it got us to Vic. It's getting a little bit gnarly here as we round the tip into Victoria. I feel like the seas are super confused.
Poor baby.
He's such a sausage.
It's been pretty shitty.
It is shitty. I saw Big Baby. I looked down at him and he was shaking. So I let him come up with me and he just like face planted into my chest. But don't worry. Bruce started feeling better the second we rounded into Victoria Harbor. Shout out to our new patrons Henry Fries and Tom Husted. You guys are the best. Welcome on board. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell. Ding!